The signal came in at 03 station time, and I knew what it was before the console finished parsing it. I had been watch commander on Ardent 7 for 11 years. I had run the drill 460 times. The Veth survey beacon, the original one, the one they buried in our ionosphere 10,000 years ago, like a property marker hammered into soft ground, had a signature unlike anything else in the electromagnetic spectrum. Narrowband, recursive, self-verifying. The kind of signal that only wakes up when the sender tells it to. When it came alive that morning, every nerve I had went cold and steady at the same time. Station, confirm source on that carrier, I said. Confirmed, said the relay AI. Origin point, outer system, bearing 271 by -14, multiple vessels. Drive signatures consistent with compact class heavy transit configuration, count, 17. Briefings had said to expect between 12 and 30. They had modeled this for 4,000 years, give or take. The number was right in the middle of the projection band. I almost felt something like relief. Almost. I opened the system-wide alert channel, the one that went simultaneously to every orbital installation, every planetary defense hub, every warship captain from the Kuiper perimeter to the Luna anchorage, and I said 6 words. The beacon is live. All stations. That was all I needed to say. Every man and woman who heard it knew the rest. They had drilled it too. I turned back to the incoming transmission. The Veth Compact's automated reclamation protocol was running on top of the beacon signal now, cycling through what I assumed were the standard legal declarations. Ownership assertion, resource claim, extraction notice. It was broadcasting in 3 frequencies simultaneously. The way you do when you expect no one to answer. The way you do when you are talking to a dead world. They had no reason to expect anyone to answer. Their charts showed a pre-sapient resource planet, Class 3 biological density, no orbital infrastructure, no directed energy signatures, no artificial electromagnetic output above background noise. Whatever their long-range sensors told them, from 10,000 years away, it had told them that Earth was exactly what they left behind. Quiet, green, uncomplicated, and theirs. Their sensors were 10,000 years out of date. Opened a return channel on the same frequency band the protocol was using, and let the link establish. There was a lag. The fleet was still crossing the outer system, still decelerating, still several light minutes out. I waited. Through the forward viewport, I could see the limb of the Earth below, the Terminator line moving across the Atlantic, the first pale light of morning catching the high-altitude platforms on the day side. I could see, if I looked carefully, the faint geometric shimmer of the orbital defense ring against the stars. 1,700 installations, built across 42 centuries, every one of them active. The channel opened. The Veth fleet registrar was a tall figure, and the transmission rendered it in enough detail that I could see the bioluminescent identification strips along its collar, flickering in the cadence that their briefing files said indicated professional authority. It had probably spent its entire career transmitting reclamation protocols to empty space. It had probably never had anyone answer. It looked at me for a long moment. This channel is a restricted compact survey frequency, it said in galactic standard. Identify yourself and state the nature of your access. Senior Watch Commander Era Valdez, I said. Planetary Defense Relay Ardent 7, Earth. I'm the duty officer for this contact window. We've been expecting your signal. Another long moment. Transmission lag made every pause feel geological. You have been expecting. Since the beacon reactivated, yes. Although truthfully, we've been expecting it somewhat longer than that. I pulled up the prepared package on my secondary board and queued it for transmission. Sending you a filing now. It's large, approximately 3.4 terabytes, but the summary is in the first document. I'd recommend reading the summary. I transmitted the package. 42 centuries of legal record, historical documentation, the full survey rights counterclaim built on the compact's own charter provisions, and the technical specifications of everything humanity had constructed in the system since the original survey. We had started building the legal case the same year we decoded the beacon. We had never stopped. While the transmission propagated, I watched the orbital display update. The defense grid was coming fully online now, station by station, ring by ring, the activation wave moving outward from Earth, like a slow pulse. I watched the inter-system warship anchorages report ready, watched the perimeter per platforms confirm targeting locks. None of it was pointed at anything. None of it needed to be. It simply needed to be visible. The Veth register's receive package. I watched it on the feed. The way it went still. The way the bioluminescent strips shifted from authority gold to something cooler and less certain. It was consulting with someone off-frame. It was doing what I would have done if I had arrived at a property I had logged as empty and found a city waiting for me. It was reading the summary, the Compact's charter, their own document, the one they had written before humanity could write anything, contained a provision in Article 7, included resource claim. On any world demonstrating organized technological civilization at the time of collection. We did not demonstrate organized technological civilization when they surveyed us. We demonstrated it for roughly 9,800 of the 10,000 years since. Article 7 was clear. We had the precedent filings. We had the Compact's own case law going back 6,000 years, cross-referenced and annotated by every legal scholar Earth had produced in 4 millennia of preparation. We had the warships too, but I did not mention those. They were visible enough. Commander Valdez, Fleet Register's voice when it came back was careful. This filing references Provision 7 of the Founding Charter. It does. The claim would require review by the full Registry Board. That process takes. I know how long it takes. The filing has been in the registry queue for 214 years, submitted through a compact diplomatic relay in the Orith system. The reference number is in the summary. Your legal office has had it for 2 centuries. We simply hadn't had the opportunity to inform the collection fleet directly until now. There was a silence that went beyond transmission lag, 214 years. My grandmother's grandmother had submitted that filing. A woman named Solvig, who had spent her entire career as an orbital communications engineer, who had never expected to see a Veth ship in her lifetime, who had submitted the paperwork anyway, because that was what you did. That was what we all did. You prepared, and you filed, and you trained, and you built, and you handed it to the next person, and they prepared and filed and trained and built, and you trusted that the chain would hold until the day it was needed. The chain had held. I see the reference number, the Fleet Register said at last. Good. Then you understand that the claim is currently under registry review, and under Article 12 of the Compact's Procedural Code, active collection operations against a disputed filing are subject to a standing halt order. I let that sit for a moment. I'm not asking your fleet to leave, Registrar. I'm informing you of the applicable law. Your fleet does next is entirely your decision. On my orbital display, 17 Veth vessels hung in the outer system. On the same display, the defense grid of Earth. 1,700 orbital installations, 42 centuries of patient construction, described a geometry around our planet that had no gaps in it. The warships at the inner anchorages had not moved. They did not need to move. The registrar could see them. The channel was quiet for a long time. We will withdraw to the outer system perimeter pending registry resolution, the Fleet Register said finally. This contact is logged. Understood. We'll log it on our end as well. I paused. Safe transit, Registrar. The channel closed. I sat back in my chair and let out one long, even breath. Through the viewport, the Earth turned below me, unhurried and enormous, catching the morning sun on its oceans. Somewhere down there, 4,000 years of preparation had just done exactly what it was built to do. Somewhere down there, Solveig's filing was still working. 2 centuries after the woman who wrote it had gone into the ground. I opened the contact log and began entering the record. Fleet Register contacted. Claim transmission received. Counterfiling presented. Fleet withdrew to outer perimeter pending registry resolution. All stations standing down from alert posture. Then I closed the log, filled my coffee, and went back to watching my sector. The next watch was in 6 hours. The grid still needed monitoring. The perimeter stations still needed their data pulls. The work did not stop because the answer had arrived. It never did. That was the point.